chat? What's up, chat? Welcome back to Positively Honest Podcast, where we keep it absolutely positively honest. We don't save no faces out here. We don't care about feelings. We don't care about who's gonna censor. What am I allowed to say? Like, what other people gonna think of me? None of that shit.
Nope.
We don't save faces out here. We don't ask favors out here, okay? We don't ask favors out here. We don't lie. We don't suppress shit out here. You're gonna find the truth. You're gonna find independent reporting. You're gonna find a content that has no any hidden agenda behind it. Okay? This content, this video, this channel doesn't have any backing. In other words, Pfizer is not brought. This channel, this show hasn't brought to you by Pfizer or any of those billionaires. Okay? They don't run ads on this channel, and I don't need Bill Gates ads. No, thank you.
Nope.
I don't want no Pfizer ads on my fucking channel.
Nope.
I don't want no Big Pharma.
Nope.
But that's not the reason why I start. That's not the reason why. You know what I'm saying? That's not the reason why we came here today.
Nope.
Today, I have breaking news for you guys. It might be 2 hours, a little bit late. Okay, 2 hours late. But this is outrageous. This is outrageous. News. Okay? And you'll be like,
What? What the fuck?
maybe you won't have that reaction. But before we get into the breaking news or the things that I want to talk about, let's hear some of these recordings that I want you to guys hear. That has nothing to do with what I will be what I will be reporting.
Sometimes it doesn't take much to alter your whole life direction. Okay, here they are. Number one, disgust. Powerful emotion. Disgust says, I have had it. See, that could be the day. The day you can say, I've had it. And whether you've had it with something small or something major, the day you can say, I've had it, may not be the day it ends, but the day it begins. That's what I said when that little Girl Scout left my door when I'm 25. I give her the big lie, she leaves, I say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I've had it with lying and being broke. Powerful day. The man's finally had it with mediocrity. He's had it with being a loser. He's finally had it with those awful sick feelings inside, knowing his wife is at the grocery store looking at 2 cans of beans, one marked 37 cents, one marked 39 cents. And the guy sick inside knows his wife's going to buy the 37-cent can, and she doesn't even like the brand. Do you know why she's going to buy the 37-cent can? To save 2 cents. The guy sick inside finally says, I've had it. Being on my knees in the dust looking for pennies? We're not living like this anymore. Could be the day that turns your life around. The day you can say, I've had it. He walks into his closet and rips everything in it to shreds and says, I've worn this embarrassing stuff for the last time. And not only will I never wear it again, no one else will ever wear it again. Commit an act that says, I've had it. Powerful. Here's the next one. Decision. And decision-making is powerful. And it's emotional. That's those knots in the pit of your stomach, right? Waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, trying to decide. We sometimes call it inner civil war. What shall I do? Well, for progress, you must decide. The best advice I can give you came from a wealthy friend of mine who said, if it's easy, do it easy. If it's hard, do it hard. Just get it done. If you went home tonight and in the next few days cleaned up a whole list of decisions, that might furnish enough inspiration for the next 10 years. I found this out many times after you've decided. Getting on with it is easier than deciding. Sometimes decision is the toughest part. Here's the next emotion, desire, wanting to bad enough. And I don't know how to tell you to want to. That's something you've got to come up with. There's two things I know about desire. Number one, it comes from inside, not outside. You don't send off for it. Number two, I know desire can be triggered by something. Who knows what it might be? Sometimes desire waits and sleeps for something to happen. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a sermon, maybe it's a lecture, a seminar, maybe it's the conversation of a friend, a happening, an event. Who knows? The best advice I can give you is what I give my staff. It goes like this: welcome every human experience. You never know which one is going to turn it all on. Even the bad experiences. Sometimes from the bitterest experience comes the greatest awakening. So let down the barriers, take down the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness. Let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. Here's the last one. This one's powerful. Resolve. Resolve says, I will. Two of the most powerful words in the language. I will. Benjamin Disraeli once said, nothing can resist a human will. Maybe not. But what if it did? You got to try. Okay. Here's the last subject, the day that turns your life around.
Yeah, chat. Let me give let me just give Dr. Marco, because that was brilliant. That was Jim Ron. Chat, that was, as you guys heard it, Jim Ron, and one of the best, and I can listen to him forever and ever and ever. So why did I brought these four emotions? There is a reason why I wanna play these four emotions, because it seems like we have no emotions whatsoever in the West, especially in the United States of America. People are losing feelings. They cannot even, like, I don't know what it is. But people are not acting like a human beings, like a human beings with feelings. And I'm thinking about, there could be a reason. There could be a reason why this is happening. There could be a reason why people don't have that human feeling and emotions anymore. That's just I'm just speculating. I don't have any data behind it, but I think there's a reason why people are not feeling their emotions. There could be a side effect of something. Maybe look at the medication, look at the labels of if you take any medication. And no, don't ask your doctor, because a lot of these doctors are actually bought and paid for by Big Pharma. Oops, did I say that? Yes, YouTube, I said that. You can go ahead. Yeah, I'm already shadow banned? Great. YouTube already shadow banned me right when I start this stream. Already shadow ban. Make sure nobody sees it. Great. Nobody. I don't give a fuck. I already know YouTube is basically an extension, or it's owned by the United States government. They can like it or not. It's owned, controlled. They got, you know what I'm saying, United States government, the CIA, the FBI, they have the back door. They have a back door dedicated to them. It says FBI, it says CIA. Come on in. And they get to spy on actual Americans, which is unfucking constitutional. Well, why would they fucking use the Constitution? The Constitution of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, it's just the paper that they just say, they use it when they want. They don't use when they don't want. It's a fact. They use it when they want to justify something. They use it to hold you accountable. But they don't use it to hold themselves accountable. Why would they? So, and they don't face any consequences whatsoever. So why would you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you just fucking disregard the Constitution, since you ain't facing no consequences, right? Like, if nobody's holding you accountable, like, why would you hold yourself accountable? You would not.
Nope.
You would just keep abusing and keep doing whatever you are doing. So I just said that, and I already know YouTube don't like that. The United States government doesn't like that. The imperial colonial power doesn't like that. But I don't give a fuck. I'm risking it all. I already had enough. I have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? The only way you motherfuckers gonna silence me is to kill me. So come assassinating me like you do all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead. It's not a fucking secret.
Emotions that can change your life in one day. Emotions are powerful. Sometimes it doesn't take much to alter your whole life direction.
So this is for Americans. If they really want to take over their government, if they really want to stop their government, you know what I'm saying, collapsing, basically. If they want to stop America collapsing, we have to use these 4 emotions to really get back our democracy before we lose it all.
Okay, here they are. Number 1, disgust. Powerful emotion. Disgust says, I have had it.
We have had it. We have had enough, guys. We have had enough. Can you not see that we had enough when the United States, whoever gets elected, they lie to us first, and they make all these promises that sounds good on paper, but then right when they get into the office, they just start completely disregarding of what they promised, and they just start doing something that is outrageous, like selling weapons without or bypassing or skipping the Congress, which would normally hold the president accountable, or would hold, you know what I'm saying, like will definitely like do their job and balance power out. But since they're bought as well and paid for by these groups, special groups, they are compromised. So with all these red flags, with all these shady shit that's going on in the US government, the citizens, we the people had enough. We had fucking enough. And it's time for us to wake up and say, before we lose this democracy, we must wake up. We must wake up. Zionist doesn't give a fuck about America. Zionist, I guarantee you, Zionism have a different plan. They don't, and America does not include. They wanna end America. And we must realize that. We must realize that.
See, that could be the day. The day you can say, I've had it. And whether you've had it with something small or something major, the day you can say, I've had it, may not be the day it ends, but the day it begins.
We have to begin.
That's what I said when that little Girl Scout left my door when I'm 25. I give her the big lie, she leaves, I say, I don't want to live like this anymore.
We can't live like this. We cannot live like this, because it just keeps going on and on and on, while Americans are actually struggling inside America with hyperinflation. With fucking hyperinflation, we're living paycheck to paycheck, with their fucking border wide open, with their youth overdosing. But we worrying about a fucking war? We worrying about we had enough. We gotta get rid of this. We gotta get rid of this Zionist. We gotta get rid of this.
The guy's sickened. I've had it. Being on my knees in the dust looking for pennies? We're not living like this anymore.
We're not. We're not.
Could be the day to turn your life around.
Like
The
this.
day you can say,
I've had
it.
it. We have had it in America.
He walks into his closet and rips everything in it to shreds and says, I've worn this embarrassing stuff for the last time. And not only will I never wear it again, no one else will ever wear it again.
We should do that to these fucking nuclear weapons we have in space, in under ocean, everywhere on this fucking planet.
Decision. And decision making is powerful. And it's emotional. That's those knots in the pit of your stomach, right? Waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, trying to decide. We sometimes call it inner civil war.
Yup. What are we going to do?
Well, for progress, you must decide.
We must decide. We must decide if America is going to be for democracy and good things and being the role model for the world, or is going to get back to the imperialism, the ugly side of America, the slavery, the destruction, the stealing of resources, just the same shit it's doing right now. As we speak, right now, we must decide what is America for? What's America stands for? What is America going to do going forward? Is it going to be democracy? It doesn't look like it anymore. Every day the war goes on, we're getting away. We're getting farther away from peace and democracy. Yet a lot of people are like, okay, I don't give a fuck. They just keep watching. They just keep getting distracted. Keep drinking.
A friend of mine who said, if it's easy, do it easy. If it's hard, do it hard. Just get it done.
These motherfuckers will not get it done. Will not stop and fight for democracy. It's just sad, man.
Is easier than deciding. Sometimes decision is the toughest part. Here's the next emotion, desire, wanting to bad enough.
Yep.
You've got to come up with. There's two things I know about desire. Number one, it comes from inside, not outside. You don't send off for it.
Yep. So what is the desire? What is the desire of America? What is the actual desire of Americans in America? What is the desire? Because you cannot tell me that America is for democracy, America is for peace and stability and a role model, and yet continue to keep providing unlimited weapons to kill civilians and innocent babies and innocent. Like, how is this? What is the desire? What is the desire?
Number two, I know desire can be triggered by something. Who knows what it might be? Sometimes desire waits and sleeps for something to happen. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a sermon, maybe it's a lecture, a seminar, maybe it's the conversation of a friend, a happening, an event. Who knows?
Could it be the war will wake us up and realize the desire that we have going forward? Are we gonna make a decision to say enough is enough to Joe Biden, to the secretary, who is a Zionist? And I would say, if you're already a Zionist and you're holding a position in the United States government and you are providing help to the Zionist regime, that by definition is you have a conflict of interest. You should definitely resign. You should definitely resign. You cannot be a Zionist supporting a Zionist regime. You cannot held a U.S. position while you are a Zionist supporting a Zionism agenda. By definition, you're not supporting American agenda. So you should resign. But a lot of people just don't see it. They just don't see it.
The best advice I can give you is what I give my staff. It goes like this: welcome every human experience. You never know which one is going to turn it all on. Even the bad experiences. Sometimes from the bitterest experience comes the greatest awakening.
And we are
So let
seeing
down the
that.
barriers, take down the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness. Let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. Here's the last one. This one's powerful. Resolve. Resolve says, I will. Two of the most powerful words in the language. I will. Nothing can resist a human will that will stake even its existence on the extent of its purpose.
Oh my God.
Do it or die. See,
Oh
that's
my
powerful.
God.
That could be the day that turns your life around. Has a strange way of stepping aside when somebody says, I'll do it or die.
That's my current state right now.
I'll climb the mountain. They've told me it's too high, it's too far, it's too rocky, it's too difficult, it's never been done before, but it's my mountain, I will climb it. Pretty soon you'll see me waving from the top. Or dead on the side, because I ain't coming back.
Just like that. Make a decision that will say, we had enough. We gotta make a decision of the desires and what we really want. Okay? We have to resolve this war and stop killing civilians. We have to stop killing. Why are we keep advocating? Why are we keep negotiating about the killing and the destruction of babies? That's where we at in 2024. So, and this brings me the breaking news that I wanted, the main topic that I want to get into today was the Biden administration once again bypasses and skips Congress approval on emergency weapon sale to Israel. And the question that I have a lot of questions, but one of the questions that I have is, where did Israel got the money that they're buying these weapons to from the United States? Where? And I would say, if you remember, the United States gives every year more than not only three, what was it? Like, I want to say more than 300, I don't know if it's 3 billion or 300 billion. Honestly, I don't know if it's 3 billion or 300 billion, because it won't surprise me if the United States gives 300 billion to Israel every year. Because Zionism is not surprising to me anymore. Whatever they do, that's not surprising me anymore. Okay? It might shock me, but it doesn't fucking. But anyways, where does Israel gets the $147 million that it will cost to get this weapon, to get this equipment? And I will tell you what kind of equipment it is. And the answer is, that is the United States money. Okay, so the United States gave aid to Israel, and the aid is money, right? So he gave aid to Israel, and now Israel is using the money the United States gave that they call aid, the money aid that they gave the United States. I'm sorry. The aid, the money the United States gave to Israel is now Israel using it to buy weapons from the United States. Do you see? Isn't that money laundering? How is that not money laundering? How is that not money fucking laundering? How is that not? Because the United States is just getting its money that they gave to Israel. Now they're just getting that money back and giving weapons, more weapons. Make that make sense, guys. Make that make sense. And now I see the YouTube is they don't want me to talk, guys. They literally don't want me to talk at all about none of these stuff at all. And you can see the suppression. You can see the way they shadow ban me, the way they hurting my stream quality. I swear to God, I have invested in better equipment. I got one of the fastest internet, high-speed internet, basically. But YouTube, like I told you guys, YouTube works for the government of the United States of America. We know there's a back door on YouTube, on Google, on Twitter, on Meta. Meta is their biggest. To be honest with you, Meta, Facebook and Instagram is the biggest platform owned by the government. And then it comes to Google, YouTube, even Twitter, aka X, is owned by the United States government. Make no mistake about it. All of these social media is controlled, and they got backdoor. The government has a backdoor on all of these platforms. Make no mistake about it. That's why they have to suppress you. That's why they have to. You know what I'm saying? They have to censor you because the government is you know what I'm saying, telling them, hey, suppress that voices. Otherwise, there's threats. More, you know what I'm saying? They're going to lose the money because the government controls the money. We know that. But they call themselves a capitalist democracy country. Like what? What? Who are we fucking kidding? Unfucking believable. The day that South Africa files a case at the ICJ, International Court of Justice, accusing Israel of genocide. The same day that South Africa files that case, did the United States provided more weapons, and they call it's an emergency. Please, somebody explain to me how the fuck, what kind of emergency requires, please tell me where, tell me what emergency in Israel that requires the United States to sell this weapon. Please tell me. Please tell me what emergency situation in Israel in 2024, what emergency situation in Israel that requires for the Biden administration to bypass, to skip the normal route to take when the United States government is selling weapons. It's just unfucking believable. It's unbelievable. Over and over again, the Zionist government that's pretending that they're pro-democracy and pro-humanity while they sending one of the highly explosive equipment. Unfucking believable, bro. This is unfucking heard of. These motherfuckers is unheard of. Okay? And US skips congressional review to approve sale of artillery. One of the highly explosives is it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, guys. It's fucking embarrassing. And here is the release of the Defense Security Corporation Agency who's selling this equipment, and this is what they call it. This is what they selling, the 155 millimeter, and this is they call it 155 next generation artillery family. That's what they call it. This is a new rocket assistant projectile, maximum range beyond of a current inventory. Unfucking believable. And if you look closer, the objectives of this new fucking artillery that the United States just gave to Israel is maximum probability of kill. Maximum probability of kill. Probability of kill is the percentage of a single projectile of the given ammunition destroys the desired target, which is, bro, the range of this shit is fucking unheard of, and it's unbelievable that they're gonna use this in Gaza, bro, in a highly dense populated area. Look, let me show you the maximum range. Like, this shit is unfucking heard of. Okay, let me show you where it was saying that the area that it's gonna target is 15 miles long. Let me say that again. The area that it will cause a highly deadly explosion, the target location will be 18 miles long, guys. Okay? Highly explosive. So the new base bleed projectile, which will maximize the killing, okay? Maximum range over 30 kilometer. And
Nope.
let me show you. Let me show you some. What did I say? What the fuck did I say, guys? Let me show you guys. You see this right here? I don't want to hear, oh, you were making up this word, so blah blah. What does this say? 155 millimeter XM 1128 highly explosive projectile, new base plate projectile, high fragmentation body with a streamlined give and drag reducing base burner. Okay, file with insensitive explosion. Maximum range over 30 kilometer. You know how fucking long that is? 30 kilometers is equal to over 18 and a half miles. Here, 30 kilometers is equal to 18.644414 miles long. So you're gonna use this highly explosive with a maximum range over 30 kilometers. That's gonna cause more genocide. I guarantee you. I swear to God, that will cause more killings of the civilians, killings of the babies, killings of the women, killings of, and they keep targeting hospitals, they keep targeting refugee camps. It's unfucking believable. Unfucking believable, guys. And the reason why you would think this is the reason why a lot of people don't understand, like they don't understand what is the reason is the United States and the West, the whole EU is supporting these countries, the West are all supporting a genocide. They're all supporting this destruction. Why? Because it comes down to into the colonialism. It comes down to the imperialism. Okay? It comes down to the racism. I mean, there's no any other explanation, guys. Okay? If your religion tells you you are the chosen one, if your religion tells you you are superior to others, if your religion tells you God has made you the chosen one, not any other people, those other people are beneath you. Those other people who don't look like you are beneath you. You are the chosen one. First of all, I don't think any religion says that. There's no way any religion says you are the chosen one and these other religions are not the chosen one and these other people are not the chosen one. First of all, religion is something that these cowards hide behind. There's other agenda that, you know what I'm saying, that's in play. It has nothing to do with religion. And low IQ population would only fall for this kind of propaganda. And unfortunately, a lot of people in America are just plainly stupid, willfully ignorant. And that's about the end of the world. If you are dumb as fuck and you're not willing to learn and you're poor, that's about the end of the world. And sick. So broke, sick, fucking ignorant. That's about the end of the world. When you're ignorant, sick, racist, piece of shit, that's about the end of the world. That's about the end of the world. When you think you are the chosen one, that's about the end of the world. When you think you are the superior race, when you think you can just suppress people that don't look like you, when you think you could just kill the people that don't look like you, that's just the evil face. And one thing that I want to say is the same mindset that allowed the Holocaust to happen is allowing the genocide right now. The genocide that's happening right now is allowed because the same ideology, the same mindset who allowed the Holocaust. Remember, the United States could have stopped the Holocaust earlier, but it did not. Y'all need to go back to history books, if there's any that you can find anymore, because the United States prefers to just burn these history books. It doesn't not like people learning from history. Because if you look back in history, you're going to learn that imperialism, that racism is just, it still exists, but it's hidden in plain sight. And these fucking uneducated people are just falling for the Zionist regime, okay? And they're not willing to fucking educate themselves. They're too busy, I guess. They're too busy to educate themselves. It's unfucking believable. It's unbelievable. So, this is the if I can even, let me see if I can zoom in. And I want to show you guys how in 1919, if you remember anything, the first pandemic, Canada was part of the British Empire. If you look here, Canada was part of the British Empire from 1758 until 1931. If you look at Africa, was basically owned by the British Empire. Look at South Africa, was part of the British Empire from 1775 until basically I would say now, but you know what I'm saying, they just put it there 1930, not 34, but I don't believe it. If you look at here in Canada, that was something that was shocking to me. So Canada was part of the British Empire until 1931? How? I thought that the United States of America took its independence 75? How the fuck did it allow the British Empire to just live right next to them? That's kind of like shocking to me, bro. How? That's crazy. That's crazy. Look all of this. Egypt was part of the British Empire. All of these. Even India was part of the British Empire. Even Australia was part of the British Empire. Unfucking believable. Even so, another thing that I wanted to show you. You see Guyana? Do you see Guyana right there? Do you see Guyana right there? It's part of the British Empire. Do you see that they say, oh, Guyana is British, was part of the British Empire since 1966? That's not true.
Nope.
Until today. It's currently ongoing. And here's the proof. Venezuela to hold exercise after British deploys warship to Guyana. Why would the British send a warship to Guyana? It's because he still thinks he owns Guyana. Or maybe he does own Guyana. Okay? Because the black people that live there, especially the black leaders, are allowing to basically be slaves. I'm not just saying this. Look at how shit is. You know what I'm saying? I just show you the history. At the end of the day, it's about the people as well. Okay? The people have to make the decision of wanting to not be part of the imperialism. So even if you look at 1942, it's not that far long, right? 1942. If you look at this, Djibouti is part of the British Empire. All of this, Somalia, all of this, Egypt. Okay? All of this, even Australia was part of the British Empire in 1942. No wonder why we are still living under these fucking colonial empires. Look, even India was British Empire, part of the British Empire until 1947. That's not that far along, guys. And if you adjust the time until 1952, you can still see the British colonize these countries. Look, anywhere that you see, even Malaysia was colonized by the British. Yemen was colonized by the British. Kenya was colonized by the British. Look, Egypt was colonized by the British. All of these countries, bro. And as you can see, Guyana is still part of the colonization. You see all of this? Anywhere you see that red dot is owned allegedly by the British. Even 1960s, even though they started leaving Egypt, they started leaving some parts, they still own Nigeria, they still own Cameroon, they still were colonizing Kenya, same as Zambia, majority of Africa. And look at this. Even in the middle of the fucking ocean, they're colonizing. They think they own the whole world, just like the United States of America today. Look, 1967, they still own Oman, they still own Yemen, they still own Switzerland. Unfucking believable. Let's see 1974. It left majority of Africa, but you can see they haven't left, they don't leave these countries, but they just basically, it's hidden. It's hidden. Okay? But if you go back to 1899, you can see it basically owns everywhere. Everywhere. And one more thing that I wanted to show you guys. Look. It colonized majority of this. Even in Iraq was British colonized. Libya was British colonized. All of this. Jordan. Egypt. And then, if you go to let's see. Yep, 1922. If you look at 1922 to 1941. 1941. Yep, so this is what I wanted to show you guys. If you look at 1920, even Israel, as you can see right here, so British was colonizing the whole world, right? So they were colonizing Iraq, all these Arabic countries, and then they built Israel. Okay, from 1948, and if that's where we go to this next slide. So from 1948, the British, the colonizers, for most, which was the 19th century, the British considered to be one of the most, I would say, staunchest defenders of autonomy of the Ottoman Empire, where Palestine would have been considered a key central province of this sprawling empire. British only real direct political movement with the area was in the 1830s, and only then as a result of a French diplomacy. Muhammad Ali of Egypt temporarily displaced Ottoman rule in the area with a tacit agreement of the French. The French used Ottoman treatment of Christians in the Holy Land as an excuse to extend their influence over the area. However, the British and the Russia came to the diplomatic rescue of the Ottomans and compelled Muhammad Ali to withdraw from area, partly to placate the French. Special agreement was made with the Ottoman to allow French to protect Catholic the Catholic people, the Catholics. And then the establishment. So the Great War was unexpectedly turned the imperial spotlight into this body of a world. And it goes on to say, this is where I wanted to show you guys. So 1915, they would even try to force their way through the Russian at the period of the time. Most important indigenous group of that the British had to work with was the Arabs. The number of the Jews in Palestine were less than 60,000. Okay? At outbreak of the war. Therefore, initial British contacts were almost exclusively aimed at the Arabs. The most important advance at this point was when the British High Commissioner of Egypt, Sir Henry Mahon, tried to co-opt the help of Sharif of Mecca in the fight against Ottoman. He did this through his series of correspondence known as Hussein Mohan letters. This correspondence seemed to promise the Arabs their own state stretching from Damascus to the Arabian Peninsula in return for their aid in fighting the Ottomans. However, not only was the correspondence deliberately imprecise, but the status and ability of the sheriff to speak for all Arabs was itself questionable. Despite these problems, formally declared revolt against Ottoman ruled 1916, British provided supplies and money for the Arab forces led by Sheriff's son Abdullah. British army and adversary were also detailed from Cairo to assist the Arab army that the brothers were organizing. Of these adversaries, T.E. Lawrence was to become the best known. To complicate the diplomatic waters, the British entered into an agreement with the French and the Russian to divide the entire Middle East into areas of influence for each of the imperial powers. Which is crazy. But the leaving of the Holy Land to be jointly administered by the three powers. This was secret arrangement that was known as the Skies Picket Agreement in 1916. It directly contradicted many of the promises made by the Sharif of Mecca. Indeed, the waters were even further muddied by a third commitment entered into by the British in 1917. The British government made promise to the prominent Jewish in Britain that the establishment of the Jewish homeland in Palestine would be looked on favor by the British. That is fucking strange. The reason for this pledge is not exactly clear. No shit. But it seems to have been made for two reasons. First reason was to secure financial support for prominent Jewish financiers in Europe. The second seems to have been a way of breaking their own secret arrangement with the French and the Russian by promoting their own influence into Palestine at their supposed allies' expense. Unfucking believable. Whatever the reason for this diplomacy, as you can see, it goes on and describes It's all about Zionism. Okay? The intense rivalry and competition between the Jewish and Arabs was afflict the British administration for virtually their entire period of the governance. Unfortunately, the Zionists and the Arabs had a mutual exclusive goals. The Zionists wished to create Jewish homeland in their Holy Land, whereas the Arabs were equally adamant that they should not lose their autonomy and rights in their own homeland. At this stage, the Arabs still massively formed the majority of the population. But what the Zionists lacked in numbers, they were more than made up for political influence in the West and zeal to succeed that bordered on this word is kind of hard for me, but this is the word that we should all learn about today. The fanatics. You already know the fanatics. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that the British mandate included references of the Balfour Declaration of the establishment of the Jewish homeland was severe blow to the Arabs, partly to try and mollify this disappointment. The British split the Palestine mandate into two distinct areas using the Jordan River as a natural boundary, and the British claimed that the Jewish immigration would be confined to the west of the river, to the east of the river, which represented 3/4 of the whole mandated area, was to be reserved for the Arabs alone. But it goes on to say, besides the principle of any Jewish homeland anywhere in Arab land was still completely abhorrent to the Arabs. Okay? But the Zionists just kept on, you know what I'm saying, like lying and settling people that had nothing to do with the land. This failure meant that the British had no choice but to continue ruling Palestine directly themselves. As you can see right here. Over the next few years, the British made repeated attempts to include both communities in the day-to-day running of the mandate. Time and time again, Arabs resulted in an absolute refusal to cooperate in any way. And the Jews were happy to cooperate with the authorities, and thus gain legitimacy and administrative experience far above which the size of the community granted. The best example of this was creation of the Jewish Agency in 1929. Arabs flatly refused to do the same. In fact, 1929 saw the birth of the first real instance of the communal ugliness. It would set off a trend that would keep rearing its ugly head for nearly as long as the British were in control of the mandate. The Wailing Wall incident was when Arabs and Jews clashed over a stretch of a wall that was regarded as religiously important to both religion. Arabs tried to make access to the wall of the Jews as awkward and difficult as possible. In the end, fight broke out, which flared into riots, and around the country, some 133 and 133 killed, mostly by British authorities. Some 133 Jews were killed, mostly by British authorities, and 116 Arabs died. Most important outcome of the Wailing Wall incident was establishment of the Shah Commission. This commission reportedly that the Arabs were very concerned about Jewish expansion, and the steps should be taken to readdress these feelings. The resulting pacified white paper recommended that the Jewish immigration should be stopped and the Jewish should not be acquire a new land. It suggested that it goes on and on and on, guys, and you can, this is very, very, very interesting, and I will definitely link this to the description below. Okay, even it will get into the withdrawal of the empire, the after World War II. Okay, after they set up the Jewish land, okay, inside of Palestine, after they killed and kicked out over 700 Palestinians off of their own land, which is known the Nakba. Okay, and it gets all into that. Okay, and even the American involvement later on, and the buildings of the United Nations, the so-called United Nations. Okay, and over here I will read the last part of it. So the British entered into yet another commission. It recommended an immediate and end to a restriction on land purchases and immediately allowing admission to 100,000 European Jews. European, okay? And it's the same thing that's happening right now. The settlers are European, they're American, they're from all around the world. So this is the same racist ideology going on in 2024, and it started around 1600, before 1600. Okay, so this is very, very important. Sometimes you just got to go back to history, because history is repeating itself. Okay, because the United States of America is pretending that it's democracy. It's not democracy. Okay, United States of America is not democracy. Make no mistake about it. The United States of America is not a democratic country. Okay, it's imperial colonial power. Okay, and one of the examples that the United States is fascist, like the fascist country. You know what I'm saying? We just have to look up the word. We just have to look it up. It's all good. Let my camera die. I just want to look it up. Let me disable, by the way. I just want to look it up. I just want to look it up. The definition of fascism. Fascism. Or fascism.
Fascism.
There you go. There you go.
Fascism.
This is a system of a government marked by centralization of authority under a dictator. Joe Biden is a dictator. Make no mistake about it. Joe Biden is a dictator. And it goes on to say a capitalist economy. Whoa. Whoa. I didn't even know that fascists could have a capitalist economy. I swear to God, I did not know that part. That part is news to me. Okay? So, this is by definition the United States of America. A government, a system of a government marked by centralization of authority under a dictator, Joe Biden, a capitalist economy subject to a I can't even say that word. Governmental control, violent suppression of the opposition, which is true. That's what they do in the same shit. If you don't believe me, look at this. What did they do? Maine lawmakers moves to impeach. What is the news? Maine disqualifies Trump from presidency. And same as Colorado. Okay? So they are doing exactly what fascist governments do. Okay? What fascism.
Fascism.
That's a fascism government. Make no mistake about it. Okay? Because the violent suppression of the opposition, Donald Trump, who is way ahead of in the polls Joe Biden. He's way ahead of Joe Biden. They're suppressing him. They're finally suppressing the opposition. Okay? And typically a policy of belligerent nationalist and racism. This is hidden. It's hidden. It's not. They're not going to show you this. And one of the reasons is, look at this video right now. I'm recording on YouTube, a platform that's owned by this fascist government, the United States of America. The fascist government owns YouTube. So I'm live streaming right now, and it blocked. Basically, there's nobody that can view or is able to watch my stream because they know I'm exposing this fucking
Fascism.
government, fascist government, racist ideology. I'm exposing the colonial empire and the ideology of this dictator and fucking unconstitutional power and suppression and violent suppressing the oppositions, tampering other governments, tampering with the results of the elections. They're just outrageous, using the government agencies like the FBI and the CIA to spy and arrest an actual Americans, while they open the border just wide open. Anybody can come in. Unfucking believable. A political philosophy or a movement based on advocating such a system of a government. Tell me the United States of government, the United States of America, does not do that. Yes, they do. Oppressive, dictatorial control. That's exactly what Joe Biden do. the president of the United States in 2024 is a dictator. He don't want to hear his opposition. He don't want to hear he don't even want to hear a ceasefire. He don't want to hear, don't stop killing innocent civilian. If you say that, they will suppress you just like the way they are suppressing my video right now, because they know they're fucking fascist, racist motherfuckers who will be going to hell. They have a special place waiting for them, and they will be burning in hell. They can keep fucking worshiping the devil, keep drinking the blood, keep consuming the organs of the babies you fucking kill. It will not make you younger. It will not make your life longer. You're over 80 years old. You're not a senior citizen. You are an old, sick Joe. Like, when are you gonna retire? When will you just go away? When will you just hide that ugly ass face? That devil face. When will you hide that devil face? And fuck YouTube. They can suck my dick. Keep suppressing my videos. Keep suppressing. And just because I said stop the genocide, you're gonna suppress my fucking video? But it's okay to keep providing lethal motherfucking weapon that you call it a next generation to basically kill anything that moves in Gaza. You're gonna provide this lethal 155 millimeter next generation artillery. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable.